If you ask me at the end of 2021 what my favorite game was, what would it be? It can be from any year, but it just has to be a new game I've played in 2021. Would it be Metro 2033, Last Light? A story-based FPS game set in post-nuclear Russia as you try to help this one child through the Russian metro. What about another game? A game like GTA San Andreas, not the remakes. A game centered around CJ's journey around San Andreas as life kicks him in the shins, and every time you die, you get sent back to the hospital, and it doesn't save progress. This means that every time you die during a mission, you have to restart it. Anyways, what about
Guilty Gear Strive?
It's the first fighting game I've actually played, and it's fun. That's all I have to say.
Playtime's over.
Would it be the mother of all games? Jerking off in class simulator? A game taking place in school as the main characters try to get it off in class. I know, very touching. And no, I haven't played Deltarune yet. I will refuse to play Deltarune until every part is finished in 2070. Now, with these choices and more, what is my game of the year? My goatee? My favorite game I experienced in 2021? What would it be? Well, my favorite game would be Monster Girl Quest. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a moment. Now I know what you're thinking. Monster Girl Quest. Monster Girl Quest. What the fuck? How the fucking name it should be bad. Take these metrics.
You should kill yourself.
Playing a game like it's literally Monster Girl Quest. Alright, you clicked on this video and you knew what was going on. And no, I'm not horny, okay? You can stop sending the death threats now.
Kill yourself.
Now listen to my delusional ramblings as to why this game is good. So, how did this road of degeneration start? Well, on March 10th, 2011, Tortor Resistance released a game, a comical game, a funny game, called Monster Girl Quest, the first of 3 in the series. This game hails from the wretched land that is called Japan, and I found this game while looking through my YouTube recommendations and seeing the YouTube video, Monster Girl Fitness. And you know me, I like Monster Girls. I am number 2, probably, on Monster Girl Island speedruns. So I clicked. This image single-handedly ruined my life. I saw that Monster Girl Quest was in the video and I was curious. What is this Monster Girl Quest? And so, I downloaded the game. I thought it'd be a bad game. It's Monster Girl Quest. There's no way this can be a good game. It's probably trash. I'll play it for a day then drop it. I was wrong. A week later, with my snack supplies I bought completely drained, I finished the game. My brain fell into mental relapse due to finishing it. Monster Girl Quest is actually one of the few games that I'd love to forget about so I can replay it again. It's just that special. Monster Girl Quest has ripped my expectations from my cold, dead, bloodied hands, spit in my face literally and figuratively, and then proceeded to shove said expectations down my throat. Here, let's open the game. See what it says? It says Monster Girl Quest, lose and be raped. This just doesn't mean when you lose, you're gonna be raped. No. You're gonna lose, and you're gonna get raped. Now, even though this is an eroge, you still don't wanna lose. Why? Because I'm not into Void, and I'm sure you aren't either. And even if you are, I'm sure you don't wanna get Void by this. Now you see, 70% of the enemies are something I would rather run away from. Hell, they could even just be considered monsters at this point. And 15% of these monster girls look underage and will get me arrested. And the last 15%? Go wild, I guess, I don't care. Now before you plunge in, let me tell you, the art styles are very inconsistent. This is to the fact that this game has multiple artists, and the art styles can differ greatly from being literally drawn by a 5-year-old to Kenko Cross. I gotta admit, I love the inconsistencies in this game, and the backgrounds don't look too pretty either. Enjoy the sights of Windows 95 backgrounds. Are you really feeling the crust of this game? And the soundtrack isn't that great, of course with a few exceptions. So you know how we fixed this problem? We changed the music. Now the music plays Ram Ranch every time I get into a fight.
Hello, Dr. Frame.
This in hindsight has become debilitating, as every time I hear Stal, I instantly think about sex, and it disturbs me greatly. If you want my music folder, check the description. This game also took a majority of its soundtrack, but we don't talk about that. Instead, we talk about the gameplay. It's fine, I guess. See these levels? Ignore them. They aren't real. This is actually a puzzle game in disguise. You can't actually grind the enemies and gain levels. Of course, you can't actually just hit the attack button. No. That would be too simple. There's actually a little bit of strategy despite being hentai. So, do you see these four fuckers? They're called spirits. Remember when I said there's actually a little bit of strategy despite being hentai? Disregard everything I have said, because there's one particular spirit that you're going to be using for half of the game, and the other 50% requires some sort of strategy. I'm gonna be honest with you, this game is gonna kick your ass, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's almost like the game wants you to lose, and I think you know why. It's pure evil, but sometimes, when you finish the puzzle fights on your own, you see that you gain 10 XP. It makes you feel like your brain has just expanded tenfold. It can be fun at times, but it's also very stupid at times. Now, this doesn't apply if you're playing hard mode.
This will result in your balls being obliterated. Why, you ask? Because the game forcefully removes your health bar and puts you in the hands of RNGesus.
I played hard mode because, it was fun. Yeah, come on. What am I, a masochist? Don't answer that. So no, the gameplay's fine. Better than the average visual novel. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Not a note. This game sounds horrible, and I can't even jerk off to it from what you're saying. Now let me tell you about this. The story? It's good. This game is the epitome of, I did not watch this for the hentai, I watched this for the plot. This game hooked me straight from the beginning all the way to the end. So what is it about? Well, Monster Girl Quest is about this guy named Luca and his Monster Girl companion named Alice. Did I mention that there are no monster boys? See Luca? He looks like a child. Don't worry about it. He is of age. The game says so. It's anime logic. If you can have a 500-year-old lolly, you can have an 18-year-old child. Don't worry about it. Moving on. The story revolves around them and their grandiose journey through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, The Last Airbender, as he gains the power of the elements, earth, wind, fire, and water. And like most fantasy anime, Luca tries to defeat the Monster Lord. And while on this 27-hour quest, Luca and Alice visit each and every region in the game, and its subsequent areas. These areas are the highlights of the game, as each area has a self-contained story where Luca tries to help the local populace with problems usually pertaining to monster girls and humans and the coexistence between them. Or it's just Luca trying to kill the local populace, you can never guess. Would it really be weird if I told you this game was about religion and racism? A lot of racism? And because of the monster girls, you might call it a Monster Girl Quest because of that. I hate myself. Anyways, each area's story just feels like a actual anime episode, from a tournament arc to whatever the authors can think about. Seriously, why isn't this an Oh, this was an actual thing that people made. Ignoring that monstrosity, let's move on, shall we? Each area's story is well written and touches on subjects between monster girls and humans and the coexistence between them, including problems, like human females and the competition for mates. Despite all the problems these characters face, these stories tell us whether they can actually coexist or not. This game doesn't make me feel like I'm self-inserting as Luca, as Luca feels like an actual character. This game makes me feel like I'm sharing the same experience as Luca, as once you see a health bar just get absolutely decimated, accompanied by a large both Luca and you cream your pants respectively. The writers actually had the balls to make Luca an actual character with flaws and motives, and for the most part, the characters are actually great. Despite wanting to have sex with you 24/7, the characters actually have convictions and motives. Everyone has flaws, with the journey to fix them really showing the thought that went into the funny sex game. They also utilize every single piece of dialogue in this game, from small funny quips to literally one piece of dialogue foreshadowing huge events. I am genuinely convinced that some of these monster girls look like this to convey that these monster girls are actually monsters. The authors wanted to squeeze as much out of this game as possible, and everything feels intentional. Hell, they even made the whole monster girls raping humans thing plot relevant. Really, come on, think about it. If there were monster boys, they wouldn't need humans to procreate, which means they would have just outright killed humans. And the relationship between Luke and Alice is just executed fantastically. Just trust me on this, I would love to go into detail on why, but I want to keep this review spoiler free. But unfortunately, the sex can get into the way of the plot. For example, there was this one moment that was heartbreaking, beautifully executed, amazing and heartbreaking at the same time. And then they dropped the whole heartwarming act and then just fucked. This game, Monster Girl Quest, had this amazing emotional roller coaster, hitting me with this amazing moment, only to send the roller coaster flying off the rails in order to have a sex scene. Ladies and gentlemen, if this doesn't constitute Game of the Year, I don't know what does then. Speaking of Game of the Year, I found out that Monster Girl Quest was actually in the polls for Kotaku's Game of the Year because 4chan did a funny and rigged it. Now, of course there was backlash of this incident because, you know, funny sex. But did Monster Girl Quest deserve to be in the polls? Absolutely, it's a great game. Did Monster Girl Quest legitimately get second place? No. Now let me ask you this question. Should there be backlash because of this? Personally, I think no. Sex is funny. Should it have beaten The Last of Us? Well, I don't know. I haven't played The Last of Us, and I never will. Moreover, Monster Girl Quest loves subverting RPG tropes. For example, do you know the staple weapon and equipment shops present in all RPG games? They don't exist. How do you get a weapon, you ask? Well, let's just hand it to you. Meet Angel Halo, and I don't think this is a sword. I refuse to believe that Luca uses this to cut down his enemies. This amalgamation is a formation of 666 angel souls and has enough edge to kill Shadow the Hedgehog. But despite this game being a literal crackdown of ideas, this game hits harder than God's drunkest driver versus my frontal lobe. I have to admit, during this game, I was on the verge of tears. The tears only being held back by my pride as a human being. Alright, we've gone to the serious part, let's quit the funny editing for now and just play some tunes, shall we? That was The Wall. Without a doubt in my mind, Monster Girl Quest is, well, porn. There's no argument about that, it is porn. Which is just disappointing to me as this game's story is genuinely amazing. This game is actually cursed. As I put it into the words of Aox, it's the weight that all of us who've played this damned game have to carry with us. It's a curse as you try to explain to people that this game is good, but you can only come off as mentally ill because it's fucking Monster Girl Quest. It's a great game with a bit of kinks literally and figuratively, and I also may be a huge idiot, and I may have the brain the size of a fucking pea, but it's sad to see a game like this be swept under the rug as it's, well, seen as just porn, that people won't try it because it's, well, Monster Girl Quest. This game will never be taken seriously because it's Monster Girl Quest, but this game, this quest, this Monster Girl Quest, it is so much more than that. Monster Girl Quest is wonderful, great, well thought out, all these wonderful things, despite itself being pornography. As I write part of the script during school, yes, I wrote part of the script during school, don't worry about it, the more I realize the story is on par with the likes of Undertale, and even more, you can imagine Undertale like Monster Girl Quest, without the sex, and the major fourth wall breaking, but we don't care about that. Now answer me this, how the fuck does a pornography story match up to the game that is Undertale? It's just batshit insane. But Monster Girl Quest is an experience. I even snuck it in my Spanish project. My group wasn't happy about it, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, should you play it? If you can handle vor, tentacles, bruising, digestion, pornography, and can handle large amounts of dialogue, like large essays of paragraphs, absolutely. Is it worth the money? If I knew where to buy it. Is Monster Girl Quest enjoyable? Absolutely. Now, is it better than Monster Girl Island? Well, as much as it pains me to say this, as much as I love Monster Girl Island, as much as I meme up this game, unfortunately, it pains me to say this, but Monster Girl Quest is better. Is it really the game of the year, all years? Absolutely not, but did I love Monster Go Quest? In more ways than one. Hey, this video kind of took quite a while actually. It'd be like really nice if you subbed and liked, but like if you don't want to, that's fine too. And I probably won't do something like this ever again, because I'm like too lazy to do this, and I probably wouldn't be able to handle it again. But thanks for sticking to the end. It means a lot to me.